Dame impact in Harlem was nothing. Not to say it like that. Dame came up under hustlers. That impact was it. He was a little dude when it came to hustling in Harlem. He wasn't not no Rich Porter, none of that type of. He wanted to hustle. He wanted to hustle for Rich Porter and that.
I knew him as Jomo, and it's not a bad thing. It was his name, and he was like an 8-year-old, like a younger kid running around with a clip-on tie, and he lived in 1199 at Dave's house because I guess they're whatever it was. He lived. So I never really knew him as like growing up. He was always a little kid.
Yeah.
But Fredo, Cameron brought him around, and I was like, "Why are you with Jomo?" And he was like, "Well," and he admitted this. Well, he has a crib we go to. We just using him. Blah blah blah. I was like, "Yeah, all right, it's Jomo." But
we got a comment to start the morning. Oh shit! It says debit dash. Yo, Dave is going through it, man. He said he's not really broke.
That Dame from the east side. When the niggas on the east side is different from the niggas from the west side. Now for the east side, Dame was a big deal to us because we were little. When he was coming from the west side, little car, jewelry, and all that. So when you're young, he's looking like Rich Porter, but in reality, he was like this. Nigga, go to the store, nigga, take a couple grams, get out of here.
The Rap Cat podcast that Jim Jones did, and he said that you're not a boss, you're a worker. What do you have to say about that?
Someone called me about that, and I laughed because it's ridiculous, but I felt like Jim must have been giving me an alley-oop to front on him, so I will.
Okay, so you're invited. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. When I was 15-year-old, and I would guess their perspective, because he was a young man, I was big time to him. Because I was 15-year-old and I was doing things that most 15-year-olds weren't doing. And the people that he's rapping about in a lot of his records, like Rich Porter and Lou Sims, these are people I actually used to hustle with. Now, at 15, I'm not going to say I was a legend at hustling. I wasn't. I was 15. But the people that we were looking up to, by the time I got to their age, I had definitely made more money than them, and I was more impactful as it relates to culture, because it wasn't being known for selling drugs. I was never known for selling drugs. But what you won't do, you could ask Lou Sims if he ever sent me to the store, or ask anybody that you know that was in that world that ever sent me to the store. See, I never hustled with Jim, and I don't think he ever bought a car till it was with rap money. It was never a street thing. Okay. I knew him as Jomo. And it's not a bad thing. It was his name. And he was like an 8-year-old, like a younger kid running around with a clip-on tie. And he lived in 1199 at Dave's house because I guess they're whatever it was. He lived. So I never really knew him as like growing up. He was always a little kid. Yeah. But Fredo, Cameron brought him around, and I was like, "Why are you with Jomo?" And he was like, "Well," and he admitted this. Well, he has a crib we go to. We just using him. Blah blah blah. I was like, "Yeah, all right, it's Jomo."
Yo, I heard Cam say that one time. I'm not gonna lie. I heard Cam say Jomo had the crib. I guess his grandma passed away, and Jomo had the crib. And they were just using Jomo for the spot. That's what Cam said too. So, whether it's true or not, hey, Jomo, it's what the niggas are saying. Now, we continue.
But he's done what he's had to do. But, he wasn't there to say that. But if he can say that, like Dookie, I used to hustle with Dookie. He was my lieutenant.
Not Dookie. Oh, listen, I thought he was calling the man Dookie.
Yeah, you were wrong. Pause. Dookie, Duke the God we call him Dookie, Paul. Okay. Duke the God is with the Dipset. I used to hustle with him. Okay. You could ask him if he ever seen someone send me to the store, but I was always known in the position as somewhat of a boss. And all I did was pass the plug to them. They were like, they always looked up to me at that time. But I was never big time as a drug dealer, but I did have a crew called The Best Out, and we were the youngest crew, and we were legendary. We was all getting money.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't hate on the player pop. And all of my accounts of what I heard, Dame was doing this thing, bro. Nobody couldn't tell me Dame wasn't a fly, like Dame wasn't doing this thing, bro. Dame was really hustling out there, bro. On all of my accounts. But Jimmy said a nigga was just, you know what I mean? He just, hey, nigga ain't shit.
But again, I'm pretty impressed with who I am and who I was and the things I did. and the fact that the people rap about are the people that I actually hustle with and actually was able to go another direction. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for him, he knows the algorithm.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you say Dame Dash, you go viral. And
I was gonna ask
Jim,
you if
I
that, do you
appreciate
think that
Jim
was
saying
more
that
a reason for
so
it?
that he could, so that I could actually have a reason to talk about who I was and tell people to look under the hood. But if you know a 15, 16-year-old, and another thing is because I used to hang out uptown. So people from downtown, I'm from 1199, they weren't usually allowed to go uptown and hustle. And I was on one of the wildest blocks on the, you know, at the time in Harlem. So I got to make it out of a real circumstance. I didn't wait to get the rap to start to get money. I didn't wait to get the rap to start being tough. None of those things. And, you know, you can look under the hood. So I appreciate him bringing it up.
So
and
was
to the extent that I've made my Paid in Full, the OG stories, it's about my friends. The people, like, again, y'all making records about Rich, but he really did hit us with work. I was there. If you wasn't there, it's hard to talk about it. To be obsessed and infatuated in such a way that you think to be a person is to go to jail, get killed, and be famous for it for a very short run, that's not what I wanted to be known for. But you can find somebody that sent me to the store, I'd like to know.
For the people.
Hey, shots fired, man. The nigga said if you could find somebody who sent me to the store, let me know. Dame said I ain't waiting. Nobody sent me to the store.